What's poppin' world? Back at it again with another video for y'all. Y'all tapped in with the Head of the Game podcast. Yeah, once again, we got a controversial discussion that we got to talk about this afternoon. So without further ado, y'all read the title. Let's get into it. Alright, so over this whole course of this whole year, basically spiraling from the pandemic, as y'all can see, housing market, interest rates, car loans, pretty much every sector of the financial, you know, positioning in this economy has been very volatile, right? Um, Low, super low rates, people jumping on these opportunities that's like once every, half century opportunity, right? So you got that going. But for this video, I want to particularly talking about the housing market. I want to follow up on this video because did my due diligence, and I just want to add more context to just the situation that's came about and some of the information I came across. I just wanted to share with y'all, plus my opinion on how I feel like things are, how they got to this point, and where I feel like things may be trending. Right. All right. So check it out. So earlier this year, the Fed had predicted that 3 rate cuts. Now, how big the rate cuts is for speculation or is to be determined, but it looks like it's on course for 3 rate cuts just because, the unemployment, the eroding of the economy, if there's high rates for longer, right? So you got to find a middle ground into stopping inflation by holding rates, but then also dropping rates at a timely manner as well to find that sweet spot so you're not ruining the economy, for having interest rates for a higher loan, right? But what this has to do with the housing market, I'm about to break down a scenario with y'all, right? So originally my position was because housing is so out of reach for the regular person, I thought that when the rates would get cut, that the housing market would still spiral out of control due to it being cheaper to purchase a home, right? But I didn't factor this in. Because it's out of reach and people that have, lower rates in a fixed 30-year mortgage, let's say they playing around with 3 or 4% and it gets anywhere close to like 5.5%, 5%, 5 3/4, whatever, right? For some people, they might eat the 3, you feel me? Or they might eat the 5, knowing that they got a 3 just because they want to relocate or his family, so on and so forth, and they probably won't mind paying the extra $200 to $300 a month, right? On a interest rate, buying a new home or whatever, based off of their current mortgage, right? So what I wanted to add in is that I thought that because the rates are coming down, that the housing of property value is going to keep going up and up and up due to the fact that it's so many money printed, right? Which that's one part of the story. That's true. The other part of the story is that because I feel like there's going to be more inventory due to the rates being cut down, I feel like because of the price of the house and still being out of reach for the regular person, at some point in time, and I'm not gonna call it a housing market crash, I'm gonna call it a correction, right? It's still gonna be expensive, relatively speaking, once it comes down. It may be 10, 15, maybe as much as 20% on housing, right? Because then the more inventory, then it puts more pressure on the sellers, the race to the bottom to compete for people that want to buy homes. There's people that's been on the sideline. So if you bought a house prematurely on these high interest rates, then I'm not gonna say it's be a pressure to sell due to your financial situation, but as things start to correct itself, I can see things being placed in a better situation where it'll be more of a buyer's market than a seller's market, right? It's been a seller's market probably over the last 2 years, since the interest rates is, uh, eclipsed probably I'll say 6%, right? Because it was low as 2, 3, sometimes it was no percent. But with all that being said, I definitely want to get y'all thoughts, y'all opinion on this. You know, real estate agents, you know, people that's in the rental game or, you know, the real estate game. I really want to know y'all expertise and y'all opinion, anybody watching, but for the most part, this is just my assessment of the way I feel like it's trending. You feel me? All this money printing and stuff like that. You feel me? Definitely had trickle up effect far as people that was already in position in the asset class for their assets to, you know, inflate and stuff like that. But I just feel like it's gonna be a form of deflation, right? And I know this is sort of off the topic, but this is my big picture of just the economy as a whole. Big bank is always gonna take little bank, right? So regardless of high interest rates, low interest rates, the people that got it is always going to be in a position to capitalize. You feel me? It's a game of Monopoly. And if you got enough assets and enough stuff under your name, there's really no financial climate economically that could put you in a place where there's not an opportunity for you to seize, right? So, that being said, comment, like, subscribe, thoughts, point of views, leave them below. I'm up out of here. Thanks for watching. More videos.